Hello and welcome to episode 31 of our Timberborn Update 7 Folktails Hard Mode playthrough here in Cycle 42 Day 10. We have 21 days left of this bad tide. That's a mouthful. And last time we finally got a complete, I guess you could say, circular zipline setup. And while some bots are going quite slowly because they're out of fuel, we do have a link between this entire outer ring, at least on zip lines. There are at least one. Good. Complete failure of the English language there, but that's nothing new. We need to connect this station to the path network, which we can go ahead and take care of with some explosives. But the rest of these, so we peel this back a couple of layers, kind of show you how this is set up here. There we go. We managed to fit more or less perfectly. I don't really have any complaints. I am pretty happy with how this has worked out. Obviously, there's still a little bit left to do, and long term, this isn't going to be coming through this hole in the wall here, and this is also going to connect around the outside. But I think overall, we've done a very good job of getting stuff situated so that now the bots, builders, whoever it is that's in charge of stuff, can come around and do most of what else needs to be done. And fortunately, I guess technically unfortunately, I have this in the wrong spot. Some of this is going to have to get demolished, but we're in a pretty good position now to do some of the decorations that we were talking about, or crenellations, or little pieces of fence and roofing and all that. I'm excited. I think this is going to look really, really cool, and especially over here when we have this set up to be properly putting some clean water into our reservoir, which we are still going to have to expand and fix a couple things with. But I am very, very excited. Let's go ahead and strip this down a little bit, and I'll show you how this is set up. Somebody left a comment. A lot of you guys have left some very good comments. But I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. It's something to the effect of they wanted me to check what was going on here with regard to terrain. It looks like from the diversion standpoint, everything is fine. But I think if I'm interpreting correctly, they wanted me to fix the terrain on top of this. I'm not entirely sure exactly what we're going to be able to get to, but that is something that we can do. Remember that the new Update 7 overhanging terrain stuff allows us to go up to 3 blocks away from a vertical support in terms of where the terrain is going. So the way this is set up actually will work perfectly fine. We just have to have it connected on both sides. So that's something we can get to. We also need to continue filling in this upper level here. And then, of course, like I said, put the crenellations in around the outside. But there's another problem we've got to address over here, and that is our bad water diversion that I've kind of accidentally doomed, if that makes sense. So what had happened was we have this thing originally set up to divert the bad water off the side of the map, which is good. We wanted the clean water to come into here, but we're no longer wanting that. We're wanting the clean water to go through here. So what I ended up doing, without even thinking about it, was I just sent everything through this as it, well, supposed to do. But I hadn't blocked off this thing here, which is why these 4 remain unexploded. And for us to be able to, effectively take care of what we're doing here, we do need to open up this side a little bit lower. Right now, this is, it's too high. It's too high. It has to be able to be at the same level as right here, which a couple of you have pointed out, and we will go ahead and do expeditiously. That's going to let all of this stuff get nice and cleaned out. And then I'm also hoping that I can use this to kind of, help drain out all of this nonsense. So I actually don't know if I'm going to be able to put the dirt back in on the side here, but I think there's probably not any reason why it wouldn't work. I think what I'm going to need to do is explode this and this, since we're already going to have a way for the bots to get down here, and one's already working on it. That's going to drain, because remember the sluices are one way. That's going to drain all of this out through this hole, which means we can then remove this, and that should help out tremendously. But again, that is one of those things that is just going to take time. And then we can also fill this bit in here. Should not be a very complicated ordeal whatsoever. I don't think there's any paths there, but we're going to find out real quick. No, those are looking good. So we'll just get that filled back in. These two sources combined are, I think they're 1 each. Yeah. So, you know, this is never going to have a problem with overflowing. This isn't really even going to be a very strong current getting all the way out here, but it will still move, which is, you know, the whole idea. Now I just need this one thing taken out, and then all of this will drain. Let's get this on 3 times speed. I should have done that a long time ago. But hopefully, yeah, there we go. So thank you to those of you who suggested that I do that this way. I was just going to wait for it to evaporate, but yeah, 20 days isn't enough time for a full block height to evaporate in most cases. So that should drain pretty quickly, which will then, of course, mean I can take this out and we can have this whole thing ready to go, and everything is going to be just fine. Now, we also do have the issue of, you know, all of this bad water coming through here. Going to make it a little bit of a longer process to get that removed, but looks like that's ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and... Why did that have to go there? Okay, well, I'm not going to get rid of those planks yet, and I will tell you why in a moment. But we'll go ahead and unpause these. We know those can get removed. I want to get this piece of terrain popped in place, and then get one more behind it. That path, I believe, is connected to a ladder, so I'm going to leave that ready to go. This has been filled in. And then what we can actually do here is we can completely enclose this. We can remove the sluices. We can have this go down rather substantially before it goes over. We could probably actually have it be the exact same height if we want to be super thoughtful about it. So if I were to do this as a 2x3, I should also be able to do this and have that be kind of reachable. And then all I have to do, I think I can put double dynamites in here, and that should work out okay. They should have no problem putting all of those in. Let's just check down here to see what they've actually exploded. Good, this is all connected. So we'll go ahead and put our path all the way inside, and I'll show you why in a moment. But I do want to get this situated a little bit better. We won't need sluices at the top of this anymore because this is going to be a diversion for the bad water to go out this way, and then I'm also going to come out here and put in... No, come on. There it is. Ah, I forgot. I can't do that. Well, no matter. That is not going to be an issue because, remember, this is only 2 worth of flow. Not going to be a problem. So, but now I've kind of created a monster here because this, I'm going to have to, well, I don't technically have to replace it yet. Okay, that's the ladder. That means that's going to have to go away, but I know I can replace, hello? Can I not replace this platform? What's on top of it? Ah, the platform on top of it's on top of it, and on top of that, and on top of that. Okay. This is a mess. Okay, let's fix this first before we try to get cute. Does this go all the way down? It looks like it does. Very good. Very good. That means these sluices can go away. And instead, see, this just waterfalls quite nicely down here. Now, I can't block this entire thing off, but I can go ahead. I actually should have those built first because I just know this is going to end up poorly, as it usually does. Just kind of, you know, build this into the wall with the whatever structure we're going to be putting in there. Make it nice and simple. No suffering. just normal stuff. Just normal stuff. I'm going to go ahead and remove these platforms because there's not really much of a reason for those to be there. And now I can come back in here. I suppose I am going to have the ladder relocated somewhere else, but not going to be hard for us to take these out. Nice and simple. Also, probably doesn't need to be quite that tall on the inside, but I guess it's fine. It doesn't really matter that much. Just got a little bit more of a mess here to take care of. Pick up all these planks, so on and so forth. And then I'm going to, before we get too comfortable here, just temporarily, for a brief time, as that's kind of what that means. I guess I didn't need to clarify that. Let's come in from can't go under that. Let's come in from here. Get that hooked up that way. So then what I get to do is I get to come in from the top here, and I can put these two sluices here. Just peel this back so it's easier to see. There we go. And these two are going to be the ones that close below contamination of 1%. Uncheck that. Always want to uncheck that. Then once these two are built, then I can remove this sluice. We're not going to need it at all. Or I can, you know, just leave it in place. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Shouldn't be. But you know how it goes. So that's all, you know, good, set, ready to go. We don't have any pass-through for the zip line that has to be considered for this. So I theoretically... Actually, do I need to even put the ladders in place at all? No, I don't. It's all taken care of. So problem solved. Let's just go ahead and get rid of this guy here. Save ourselves a little bit of grief, and instead... just pick up all these logs and planks, and then we'll cap off the top here. Without having any further idea of what I need to fill this with, I suppose I should just utilize all of my enormous stash of dirt to just kind of fill in all these holes. I did say I was going to do this here as well, although... oh, wait, hold on. It's going to let me do that? I don't want to do that because it's going to flood above. We're not going to do that. I wonder if I can be humored here for a second. I don't think the three... No. But I can go ahead and get these impermeable floors in place. I know that's not going to do like everything, but it will allow me to use this space should we feel so inclined. And will... I mean, this is never going to back up unless something just absolutely catastrophic occurs. But it'll make me feel a little bit better. So, that does mean, again, peel this back once more, that this source is now going to dump nice fresh water into our reservoir, which is over here. I was about to panic, say, no, it's empty. How's it empty? Well, no, I'm just dumb. There have been calls for me to also integrate this source into this aqueduct thing, but I don't know, man. I don't think we're going to need to do it. I think for right now, just having this filled by the nice clean water, what we want to be filled at least, will be more than enough. We could do something else with that later, maybe. Because we also have problems over here. Now, it's not overflowing anymore because I punched holes in the wall. But many of you have criticized what we got going on over here, and honestly, for good reason. This is a mess. I did not calculate, because I kind of can't ever do math. I did not calculate this appropriately, and there's not enough edges for all of the extra water to come down past, whatever the thing is. So we've got 3 coming from here. I'm pretty sure it's 3. I always have to remember that's 3 there. And then I've got 4 here for bad tide, so that's 3 plus 3 is 6. This is 10. And then we also have 4 here, which is 14. I am pretty sure that's all of it. At least for this thing. So, okay, let's say 14. Each edge is 2.2. I'm super bad at math. I'm not going to try to do it on camera again, because that never goes well. But this is not enough. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not quite enough. So the easiest thing for us to do, I'm pretty sure, assuming they can actually get over here, they might not be able to anymore. We'll see. I'm just going to kind of, you know, get all of this a little bit more channelized. As long as it doesn't have to change height in this area, it should be okay. This is a lot of edges here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's way more than we're going to need. It shouldn't have any issue going through a 2 wide as long as it's not dropping in elevation, which it doesn't until after. I think the issue is here. It's not being folded, quote-unquote, effectively. So I think... can it even get down this far? Yes, actually, but there's not a path. Let's fix that. Bring that all the way down here. So I'm going to take this bit down completely flat, and then I'm going to go down straight the center here. And that should improve substantially. Keep in mind, a lot of it's going out this way because that was our emergency overflow thing. So we're going to have to see how long it takes them to get over here. I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue. They're just a little busy. They got other projects going on. I do want to be able to use all this. That would be quite nice. There we go. Here they come. All right, come on. I need one more. One more. Here we go. Here we go, folks. Set that off. Get that out of the way. And then what I'm going to do here, same thing like I just said. This actually should probably have been a 2. Let's go ahead and make that a 2. So this will get this middle bit down to the 1. These will also... Oh, I'm so bad at this. These need to be 2s. Basically, this entire middle bit here needs to be 2s. We'll just make a channel. And then I suppose I could probably also do this here. So this will create... I know I can just set this one off by itself. That's not an issue. So this will end up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11 on this bottom thing. And then this will be another math. Should be fine. Should be totally fine. And I know it might seem dumb, but I'm going to put these terrain blocks in here so everything's at the same correct height. Just let it be what it's going to be. And then if this level goes down sufficiently, we might be able to close this. I don't want to just... I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because we're shoving it off the side of the map anyway. But I want to use it to generate power, you know? And while this is actually generating adequately for our needs, it's a personal thing, you know? Okay, so now that has created a lot of folding opportunities. And if we go up here, turn this back on, has this increased speed at all? Probably not. Oh, it super has. Okay. Well, then maybe we can consider that to be a success. This hasn't backed up beyond 1 block high here, so I know that that's good, but it is very close. We got a mess here, because this is just, it's just not ideal. So probably what's going to make the most sense here is for me to go ahead and just fold this out this way. So it's not trying to pull and then go down some other spot here. This should place it level with this whole mess here. Then I can have that go wide that way. Should make it a little bit easier. See how long it takes them to take care of that. We'll come back and... Oh, actually, no. If they're coming up right now, we can just wait. Because we got a lot of bots. We will address the bot unemployment. Don't worry. we got a lot going on. Got a lot going on right now we have to take care of. Yeah, a little bit more coming in here. I figured they'd be right behind, but it looks like they're... oh, they're building from below, maybe? Yeah, alright. One more. Come on. Alright, let's set this off. As long as nobody gets exploded. Now, if I am correct, which allowing for error, maybe if we just fill this in here, it'll help too. But, you know, this end down here is still pulling its weight. It's doing fine. This does seem to have increased the speed a little bit. Now, if this is above 1,700 total, then we'll know we've done something. Wow. Okay, yeah. So that actually did work. I mean, not as perfectly as I would have preferred, but honestly, I think this is probably fine. This is going through this way. That should be, if I take this up. Yeah, I mean, it's ugly, but it does work, and I think we're probably going to be okay. Now it's hovering around 500. If I come in and I close this one off, what is going to happen here? Let's find out. I'm really curious. We are going to be doing other stuff besides this. Just hang in there. hang in there with me. I'm doing science in real time. All right, come on, bring me the dirt. Bring me the dirt. We got stuff to do. Okay, so I didn't need to get rid of that. All right, still going immensely quickly through here. Is it higher than 500 apiece? 560 something, 550, 540, 550. Okay. No sign of flooding here, which hopefully will continue to not be any sign of flooding. Let's do... Because remember, this is the maximum outflow this is ever going to have during a bad tide. Let's try one more. Try one more here. I'm like firmly convinced this can handle it, but you know how this goes. Bring me the dirt. Should have that taken care of in short order. We can clean this up. We can put in extra, you know, bits of dirt to increase the size of the walls or whatever. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Remember, right here, we're going to have a total strength of 7 because we have 3 down here and then 4 up there, which should... Let me just paranoia check this real quick. Okay, that hasn't increased in height. Oh no, it super has. All right, that's going to flood. I did not think... Maybe, actually, hold on. Maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. Can they actually even reach this if I put a levee here? No, they cannot. All right. That's gonna be a problem. Well, I did say we're gonna do science, so it's creeping ever so slightly toward the edge here, but it hasn't gone past it. Okay. Well, we can also, you know, be firmly assured that this block would not really do that much to stop anything anyway, because it would just go right through this. But I guess... I'm just... 630, 640 apiece? Okay. Well, if it's generating that much power and it's basically never going to be off, what we can do is we can remove these windmills, or this one windmill at the very least, and give it a little bit more outflow. We could also, depending on how we wanted to do this... I mean, this is the strongest outflow it's ever going to have, and it hasn't flooded, so... I'm afraid to fill this in, so I'm not going to. We're gonna leave this as it is and go do something else, because I've spent way too much time on this already. He says 23 minutes into the video. But now, we had a plank shortage. Now we kind of don't, because it's gotten more or less handled. But I was reminded by so many of you in the comments, we can just, you know, we can demolish the supports here. We don't need them. It's not going to delete our land or anything. And now we look at all this wood we can pick back up. Not like we're really going to need it, but that's fine. It's a thing. We'll get it taken care of, get all that cleaned up for whatever space we can fill. And then, as long as I'm not... did that get rid of the path? Oh, it did. Why did the other one not get rid of the path? Very weird. Well, we are going to have path here so they can actually get this stuff. But now we have a lot more wood, a lot more planks ready to go, ready to get turned into, you know, other stuff as necessary. And this is looking really good. Now we have to fix this bit here. And, yeah, you know, this is, it's not really that good here. We do need to get that wall put back in place. They did finish this bit, which is nice. But yeah, it's going to be one of those things where we just, you know, kind of have to do it. Got a lot going on that we need to take care of here, but you know how it goes. Just got to get it done. And we are going to have to replace this zipline pylon. Probably make it go a little bit further this way. Make sure this is all perfect, ready to go, which I don't think we're going to need to get back up here, except I did say I was going to get rid of these little bits of trees, and I was going to put additional land on top of this mess. So, you know, we absolutely can, and I really would like to get this thing completely, quote-unquote, repaired. If if that makes sense. I'm not a very good land sculptor, but I do like to think that I can kind of get some stuff taken care of here, make it look a little bit less janky. So we'll just do a little bit here and there, kind of repair this a little bit, and then let them be what they gotta be. I don't expect this to be completed with any degree of expediency, but I believe I just give them the tools to get up where they need to go, and they should be able to handle it. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. They might even be able to build some of this from the inside. It looks like they kind of can. So that would be a great thing there. Now, for this bit here, if we want to remove all the supports, which, you know, we don't really have to, I am going to have these connected. This actually might be okay like this. Maybe just a touch. That might be fine. This side is already looking good. Can they actually build this from the inside? Well, that'll be something we'll have to come back and check on a little bit later. We do still have 11 days before we have to use this, so it'll be very nice to actually have this whole thing complete. Let's get this bridge out of here. Get the rest of these situated. And then we have to put in the top. Well, we don't have to, not yet. But at some point we will need to put in the top little bits here. Take these crosswise things out. I think... Yeah, see, that's going to be... that's just going to be the easiest way to do it. Remember, 16 high is what we're looking for here, and that's what we have. Just need to make sure... I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be in range of the next little bit of the zipline thing that we're trying to do here. Look how fast these guys are doing this. I love having all these bots. Speaking of having all these bots, we have 32 unemployed bots. People have been asking for a couple episodes now to, you know, solve the beaver employment problem. So now we actually have the extra bots to do it. Let's go ahead and just, you know, flip all these over. The goal is to have no bots, or no bots, no bio beavers working. Fluid dumps, kind of a waste of a bot. So, yeah, but I have extras anyway, so who cares? Let's go ahead and get that assigned. Grills, go ahead and get that assigned. Grist mills, you know the deal. What else is left? I don't think there's very much. These are looking good. Tapper's Shack, there you go. Alright, now if I'm correct, we have 0 working beavers. Very good, and we still have six spots left over. So, what I'm gonna look at all this mess. What I'm gonna do, surprise, surprise, put in a couple more builders' huts. I'm gonna leave that space open there. Make sure that is in fact set. Very good. Make these slightly lower priorities so we don't take them out of essential workplaces. But there we go. Now we're utilizing a whole bunch of bots as builders and haulers and all that good stuff. As one does. So, now I need to remember 3, technically on the 4th one down. Which means I don't necessarily have to have this go up all the way here, because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. This is, right on top of here, the height that I'm looking for. Let's test, because I apparently am incapable of doing things correctly here. I promise you guys, it's so much harder to do commentary and gameplay at the same time than you think it is. Like, I know that, like, doesn't seem real, but it super is. It super is. I need you to understand that. Let's get rid of this here so that can go that way. Now, I want this to be within range of this pylon, but it's not going to let me do that until this one is completely disconnected. I'm like 99% sure. Yeah. It's not going to do it unless it's open. But you can just look at the coordinates. Look. Look. I played a lot of Minecraft 13, 14 years ago, where I was hunting for stuff specifically by coordinates, and I still managed to get it wrong. That being said, we're looking at 04, 130 here. Depending on which one is which, it looks like the second one is what we're looking for. So if this, in theory, is at 100, then it should be close, maybe within 1 or... I don't know how it counts stuff, but... What's this at? 96. So it's actually... Again, being highly presumptuous here. I actually don't know if I can build this one first. It might have to be... Yeah, might have to be turned around. Let's do that, and then that. Yeah, that's going to be the easier way to go. If this one's at 100, and it's actually correct, then I'm going to be pretty happy about it. But this is currently load-bearing. However, if I build this... actually, this would be a station. It wouldn't be a pylon. I build a station here. Then we might actually be able to just connect it right to that. That would be a big shortcut. But first we have to check with the pylon itself. Alright, so disconnect from this station. Connect to... Oh, I haven't put one. Alright. Now. Okay, so I can actually count, but this does have to be a station if we're doing our every other whatever thing. So, this, I believe, is a title of a cadets show. All you drum corps people. I can't remember what year that was. Let's see. That is lined up correctly. Looks like it. And, man, I kind of didn't want to have this be full height here. But I might actually need it. Might actually need it to be for a little bit. But the point is, get on with it. Yeah, we need to just have this thing be connected at least through here. At the very least, and we'll put in... I guess this can just go all the way across? Probably going to be the simplest method of getting something accomplished here. I'm going slow because I care. Always remember that. Let's see. Yep, that'll go pretty much exactly where it's supposed to, except I have my path going all the way around the outside here, and that's where I'm going to put my crenellations, so that's not going to fly. Let's just go ahead and get this all situated, ready to go. Except now I have to have this very outside bit completely hidden, which I was kind of trying to avoid, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Get this all the way through here. You know the drill. Why is the game still paused? Good question. That is not a question I am prepared to answer. But if I can get this bit constructed, along with that bit, and then that bit, I should only have to build this bit here to make this actually work. Let's do that into there. Hopefully nothing gets completely fouled up, because now this is completely disconnected, and they have to go the long way around. But, again, one of the major goals behind, you know, getting rid of this connection here is so now we can actually complete the wall. Because there's a lot going on here we have to be able to account for here. So much that needs to be popped in. Remember, this has to be watertight. That's very important. And a lot of this can be done from the inside, but it has to have something on the outside supporting it. Should be a pretty simple process here, just to get this nice and supported. Come on. Come on. Why can't I hold all these limes? What's underneath this? It actually doesn't make any sense why this won't attach here. You know, what's up with this? Where I can't actually... Is it because it's not on multiple sides? What? Come on. Like, I'm not insane, right? I mean, for other reasons. What is blocking this? Or maybe it's because... Oh, you know what? I bet it's because of this. Alright. Let's put this bit in here. Still not letting me do it, huh? What is up with that? Oh, it's because this isn't finished. I think. What a process, huh? This absolute just mess. Alright, so this is just about finished, which is good. That means I can no longer have to have this here. I know we can very safely remove this. Goodbye, goodbye. Connect. Oh, son of a biscuit-eating bulldog. How am I gonna get... Come on, man. Alright. New idea. Connect. Oh, man. Alright. If I do this, is this still gonna be... No, it's still... What is it obstructed by? What? Is it obstructed by the terrain right here? I'm sure it is. Okay, well... I mean, this is gonna have to go this way further anyway, and I guess it could, I guess it would just connect to one of these. See, I've made a mess of this. Alright, let's just get that out of there. They don't need to actually build that. See, now I'm kind of... I mean, I'm not in trouble, but... We're rapidly approaching the danger zone here. We don't have Navy pilots either. See, that's at 100, which stands to reason that I should put this at 70 and be totally fine, which is... Okay, what are the odds? This one's at 69. Alright. That's going to be here. Like so. Just to put the thing in place so we don't have to worry about anything. That goes here, a full 30 meters. Oh no, you put this in the way and now it's in the way. Like, well... Have we taken a look at what the other thing is going to be? It's going to be at 40, which, you know, it's not going to get us quite into the corner, but I don't think we want it to be in the corner. Where is 40? Okay, that is right here. So that would be a station that... Oh, yes. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. And by beautiful, I mean it's objectively not going to be, but... I just need it to be centered on 40. Look at that. Look at that, folks. Look at that. Oh, yes. Okay. Now we're cooking. This pylon, friends, is not connected to anything. This zipline station needs to connect to something. If I take this all the way into the corner where the 10 spot is, right... Oh, look at this. Look at this. It's like that Magic Sponge commercial all over again. All I have to do is put that right there. That is... Oh, it's perfect. Oh, look at this. Look at this. It's not the right height, granted, but... This is the spot. I put this right here, and then we can make a lot of, honestly, kind of unnecessary terrain adjustments for the sake of my personal pride, which is probably not a good thing to be getting into anyway, but... is that the correct height? It sure looks like it. Just pop this thing. Why does it have to be flat? Look, just trust me, alright? Everything's better when it makes sense. That right there, friends, is going to not get us quite in range of this. It's 55 meters, but it'll go right the way down here. And I think if I am careful with how I place this, I might have to go a little bit higher. I can probably just come straight the way down here. That is lined up with this side. I can probably just connect to this, which for our intents and purposes right now is probably going to be fine. Now, is this going to work? Or is it going to be too far? It's probably going to be too far, but that connects there. Let's just see here. How far is this? 39, and it's also not high enough. Okay, well, this has suddenly gotten a lot less exciting. So, for the sake of actually, you know, accomplishing something, let's put that there. Put that there. Get rid of that there. Now let's check this. Should still be in range. 25. Okay. So if that one goes there, then that one... Oh, are you kidding me? One off? Okay. I'm going to commit a heinous act right here. Let's try this. Let's try this. Okay, is it going to let me do more than... No, I don't need to do more than one. Let's... Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. 26? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Wow, Oh, is it ugly? Oh, it's ugly. But does it work? You better believe it does. So, now we have to build this mess. The game is still paused. Yes, I'm aware. Let's, Oh, they should be able to build that from that way, I hope. This here is, you know, once again, crimes against Skrymer and her people. Pop that in there. That should be fine. And then that just automatically connects. Friends, that's gonna have this whole mess directly integrated, and we're gonna be, you know, we're gonna be doing something. They do still have to build this, which they cannot build because somebody didn't put in a ladder there. Well, we can solve that problem by doing that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, friends. Now we just have to get this whole thing connected here. Okay, this pile of nonsense needs to go away. I will accept this. We're almost to the point where we don't need to worry about a bunch of this junk anymore. Just be patient with me, right? Trust the process. It's not just for basketball. But that is going to go this way. We do not need to have this set of ladders here because there is nothing underneath it. So that's going to be a simple thing to get rid of. I'm not going to fill in all of this void space because I currently do not have a plan or reason to. We probably can also just, you know, completely get rid of a bunch of these. Not that we really need to, but there is space underneath here that I should double check. Oh, that's just a hole. That can easily be fixed. What's under this? Okay, another hole. Okay, get that out of there. I don't want to leave like 1x1 voids like that, so I'm going to put... What? Why did that go there? Alright, whatever, who cares? How, you absolute buffoons. How do... This is like an actual, like, thing that really irritates me. I'm not going to be afraid to say this makes me actively angry. Why does this happen? Like, these bots cannot possibly be this stupid. Like, this needs to be something that is addressed in the base game and not through a mod. It's patently ridiculous that this keeps occurring. Like, they should have better pathfinding than this. And I'm sure someone has already left a comment saying that I have, I just fundamentally misunderstand the terrain system. Yep, that's probably true. But this is still completely insane that this happens. At least it will pop them up to the surface once the last block is put in place that they're in the way of. I think. Hopefully. Yep, okay. Just why like why is the game programmed like this? Unless there's like an actual like very good reason, which it's entirely possible that there is, and I'm just again, I took music major math. Look, we don't need to pretend like I actually know what I'm talking about here, but I feel like it should be a pretty reasonable thing for this not to be continually happening to me. Okay, so that needs to come down from all of this mess. Like, I can't see however far down this is actually going. So I guess I just have to peel it back one layer at a time. Is that all gone? Alright, now, I think if I have this set up correctly, remember, you have to be very, very careful putting these things in now. It's very easy to make a mistake. Yep, that is good, and that is... The water comes through this thing. Remember, we're trying to seal holes so that the water can't go through there, too. It is, in fact, a process. Alright, can I at least fill this in? Yes, okay. Oh, this isn't connected on the inside here. That needs to be fixed. Okay, so that goes all the way through here. Zip lines are still not... Wait, oh, they can't reach this. Alright. That's a problem that is absolutely my fault. That will get fixed presently. I'm not going to sit here and say that this is a great place for one of these stations, but it is going to be accessible if I can at all help it. That's right. We were fixing this disaster here. We do not need to have all of these ladders in place because they can just get up to the top there. I am pretty sure that doesn't need to be a thing. Alright, come on. I should be able to just delete this whole stack. Okay. So the only one I need to plug is this thing here. Everything else can get left in place. Put that there. I guess I probably should have this path go all the way around for the purposes that we're attempting to use them for. I probably don't actually need to remove the rest of these. I can just put those in place if I'm actually going to get this finished by the end of our drought here. Drought, bad tide, whatever. Same difference. That's not how it works. Look, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Is this connected yet? Yes. Okay, so now they can actually use the zip lines again, even if it is a very roundabout way of doing it. I think I feel mostly comfortable getting rid of all these supports. You know, sometimes bad things happen, and you just have to own them, but I think that should be idiot-proofed. Good. Yeah, just got a little bit more to fix here. I got this bit here, which, oh, okay, they're still actually using this. Why are they, what are they grabbing from over here? Are they still working on installing stuff, or am I just, okay, that's gonna be gone. That's gonna be gone. I don't really have any reason to have planks over here anymore. Just get rid of this. In fact, our wood storage is completely full, so bye-bye. Don't need that. As long as we're not going to silly-billy ourselves, we can get rid of that as well. And I believe that should, for the most part, Kermit the Frog here, fix all of our problems except over here, and that will have this entire thing ready to go. We're not going to need to have this at all. That can go away. Anything else blocking the way here? That does need to be there. I've already established that this can just get brought across, which we will do after we're certain everything is taken care of. This is our last bit of stuff that's got to get fixed. So I'm going to remove this staircase first, so that way they don't silly-billy themselves to death again, although they'd probably find a way to make that happen. Get that out of there. Yeah, we don't need to save planks anymore. Okay, so they can build this from above. And I think, come on, autosave. If I've done this correctly, I will not need to worry about this ever again. What is this? That's gone. That's gone. Okay. Now, it's going to take them a while to get over here because I've removed all of this access, but they should still not have any issues doing it. They can build from above if they really want to. This I've inadvertently created a problem with, which we will go ahead and solve with the help of a lot of bots. I think they can take care of all of the rest of this. Okay, good. I did put that in the correct height. That is a thing. I was a little worried about that. But that's going to get us the entire top thing completely taken care of. Oh, yes. Look at all these builders. We have even more bots now. We can have those guys come in and do that. But I don't think we're going to need to worry about it. I think we're going to be okay. This is dry enough to cause this to be a problem. But hopefully not for very much longer. And I know there's still a couple things we want to take care of. Don't worry. I am still in the process of fixing some stuff. I told you guys, it's a process, right? You got to trust it. You got to trust me here. But this, hopefully, is now completely fixed. Oh, that needs to be... Well, I guess it doesn't really need to be there, but we want to have access through this whole thing. That is good. This is set to close above contamination. This is set to close below contamination. This will be totally fine. No issues. All the way through here. No leaks. No opportunity. Okay, well, this one's still in the process of being built, but it is the next block to be built in this whole section here. We have 3.5 days. This comes along here. These platforms actually don't need to be here. They can be removed, but I'm... yeah, what the heck. That's going to be totally fine. We'll just leave those there. That is still waiting there. This is a ladder that needs to... actually, no, it doesn't need to exist. This actually... well, there's not really any harm in leaving it there, but I will go ahead and get rid of that. This one, though, we'll keep in case we need to get up on top here. As long as this piece of terrain gets built in the next 3.5 days, then we're going to be in beautiful shape. This is already... Look, these guys are fast. When they're not inhibited by my own stupidity, that's actually working out quite well. I think, finally, we can go ahead and do something you guys have been begging for a very long time, and that is putting in... This is pumping, right? Yeah. Putting in a sluice that will solve many of our problems. Let's go ahead. And, again, because of height here, I'm going to want this to be, I think, right here, because I can have it automatically shut off when it reaches a certain height. So we don't have to flood this bit until I, redo this, which we're not going to be doing for a little bit. Too far from a... What? It's totally connected. Oh, it's totally disconnected. How did that happen? Ah, that's how that happened. A little emergency overflow that I haven't been emergency overflowing. Alright, well, time to break out the stupid thing again. Pop that in there. Pop that in there. Lag. Thank you. I think that's just autosave, though. Not gonna need... Actually, yes, I am gonna need... I have to have these ladders here. I don't know if they're going to be able to build behind this. I guess we'll find out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put sluices here. And I'm going to adjust the maximum height before shutoff. We are going to use that feature for this specific implementation. I'm going to adjust that so that it shuts off when it gets to this height here. Because I do still have to move these. But, say it with me, it's one of those things that's just going to take time. So, we'll get to it when time allows, but there is still a substantial amount of stuff that has to get taken care of for us to have any remote chance of fixing anything. It's a process, folks. So, all that being said, I forgot what I was going to say. Good job, me. I think it was something to do with... Oh, that's right. We need more gravity batteries. The windmills actually are capable of producing more... Oh, well, they're not turning right now, but the windmills by themselves, if we weren't running 4 of these dirt excavators and some of the other superfluous stuff, they'd be capable of probably running everything, but they don't run all the time. And we only have so many gravity batteries, so if we want to have a fighting chance at, actually having enough power, we are going to have to build more of these things, and I don't really know exactly where I want to put them. I mean, I guess I could put them here where we have our excavators, but that's not really... I guess it's about as high. Kind of wary of how I have a lot of this stuff set up, but I think, dangerously, this is probably not going to be as bad of an idea as I had previously thought. It was part of the reason why I kind of didn't want to do it. But if I, excuse me, put this upward power shaft here, it's not going to be a ton of power, but it is still going to be, you know, reasonably accessible, and it'll just go right up into the bottom of this thing. It should be very easy to build. And we can just go right off to the side here. I do not think it's going to be a problem. And then, you know, that's going to be tied directly into the main thing, like it always is. And then we can, you know, just pop these into here. 6 more of these. It's not like a game-changing amount of power, but it is going to help. And that is something you guys have kind of been after me with for quite some time. And I do want to try and, you know, fix as much as I can. Let's also keep this turned on. That is going to possibly cause some flooding issues. Wait. Oh, it leveled out. All right, cool. But we definitely need to get this put in place. All right. So these guys in here basically need to close above downstream depth of... I guess we'll call it... Let's call it 1.9 to be safe. That'll get us to just underneath this lip. That should be totally fine. And of course that will automatically shut off these. Actually, no, that's perfect. That's perfect because this sluice will only release if this reservoir is low enough to where this can no longer let anything out, and then it also gets pumped out. That's good. Multi-tiered assurance that this isn't going to run out. Very scientific term there. And everything else is looking okay. This is finished here. All right, folks. Looks like we're not too shabby here. Things have improved. This is still very terrifying, but it hasn't gotten worse, so I'm not going to mess with it. All right, we got 1 day left, and wow, when did it get to be an hour into this video? Yikes. I don't know how many of these consecutive videos of, hey, we're building castle walls, people are actually going to want to, you know, watch before they just say, this is stupid, I'm just not going to watch these anymore. But if you're still here, then that means it's worth doing because you're watching it. So I think what's going to happen now is I'm going to go ahead. I know we only have 0.7 days left as of the time of me starting to say this. I'm going to put in crenellations. I'm going to time-lapse it a little bit because, you know, it's a process that does take time. But we should be able to see the benefits of our little aqueduct experiment and construction before too long, hopefully within the first day and a half of the next cycle. But that's what we're going to do. Not going to be a super long time-lapse. Alright, here's cycle 43, and as you can see, they got a lot of these things built pretty quickly. The details we haven't put in yet, but I am really liking how this looks, folks. That's pretty cool. There is a possibility that they're not going to line up perfectly every other tile because of how this is segmented here, but now it is our time to shine. Look at this. Look at this. Halfway through day 1, or the work day of day 1, almost. I guess I don't have to say halfway because it's no beaver's working anyway. We are slowly advancing our water through here. Very nicely. Remember, this is triple speed and it's only a 2-strength source, so it is going to take some time. Just take time to get through here. But it's going to make its way very peacefully down here into our reservoir, hopefully not flooding these things, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. We have these gravity batteries, 22,000, really. These are only 26. Alright, well I guess that's not that bad. I maybe could have elevated them 1 or 2 more levels to be aligned with this, but I figured it would be better for it to be aligned with whatever's built here. We can always move them back later. But now we are in really good shape because this is filling this area up here. And then I guess I do technically have an overflow here if I really Really wanted it. I should have replaced this with a dam, actually. Yeah, actually, now that this has a sluice, let's just fix this real quick before it becomes a problem. You know, we don't want to have any problems, do we? This will have to be set to, I suppose, say, it might actually have to be 0.85 to keep up with inflow. But things are looking good. Look at this, look at this. It's coming right in, filling it up a little bit quicker than it would be otherwise, and, well, it doesn't make the top of this green, or the side of it green, actually. But this area is looking pretty good. We have no clean water coming out the end here. This is filling this area up a little bit. It's still kind of polluted, but, you know, eventually that's going to go away. I feel pretty good about that. Of course, it is going to come through here if it gets high enough. But we have done so much good here, folks. So much good. I am very pleased. Obviously, there's still plenty of work that can be done. And somebody forgot to put in the second level of ladders here. Still plenty of work that can be done. And obviously, you know, it's going to take time. But I feel very, very good about this. Go ahead and just say bye-bye to all this stuff that can get cleaned up at any point in time. And do a little bit more work on this before we say goodbye. It's, you know, it's one of those things where you just kind of have to do it, right? And it never ends. You remember last episode, I ended up going like another, I don't know, 15 minutes longer than I wanted to because stuff had to get done. If you don't do it, someone's got to do it. And this is a single-player game, so I'm the only one that gets to do it. You know how it goes. So I will go ahead and just get this prepared, but I'm not going to take up any more of your time placing these things in here. And I have to because I know we're all very busy people with very busy lives, and most of you prefer these videos to be only about an hour in length anyhow. But I'll just go ahead and get a couple more of these in here. Yeah, I am kind of concerned that when we get to the corner, it's not really going to line up, so I will go ahead and do as many of these as I can. If it ends up not lining up, then we're going to have some sort of decorative thing in the middle that isn't completely stupid looking. Oh, man. Okay, so what's the center of the map? Is that going to be probably right about... actually, we have technology. This, we know, are a maximum of 30. I think one of these might be 29, so this bit here is probably the middle. Well, it appears we will need to do a little bit of... Hey, remember when I said I was going to be done with this? We'll need to be doing a little bit of creative stuff right here in the middle. I guess I will just blow this bit up, and we'll see what happens, I guess. These are going to be really annoying to set off individually, but that's the way it goes. I am very pleased with this. I think this was well worth the time investment. Obviously, there's still tons more work to be done, and we know that this is now closed, and this is being filled from the back here, and I think we need some more capacity for our water storage. But, you know, the castle project has been such a huge part of this playthrough for such a long time that I kind of forgot what it's, you know, supposed to be to do other stuff. So it's going to be one of those things that we'll just have to kind of ease ourselves back into. I know we have tons of other projects that we've been saying we're going to do, and I've replied to comments saying, yeah, okay, we'll look at that next episode, and then I completely forget because I get tunnel vision for the really cool castle stuff. But, like I said, that's going to get fixed when the time comes. We'll just go ahead and get a couple more of these things in here. And I want to say right about here is going to be the center of the map, but we can kind of get there. Okay, so this says 127. That says 126. So, math, 64 and a half. Okay, so this is 64. This is 60. Aha. So this is basically the exact middle. This piece is not quite. I think one of those is 29. So if I just make that the middle, then you know, that can have a little bit of a slightly different decoration. We do have a 1x2 roofing piece we can put on there, Not too shabby. Or I can do one of these numbers. Or I can do maybe a monument. Or I don't know. But the point is we found the middle of the map. Unless I have done something incredibly wrong. Wait, hold on. Did I? Hold on. No. 127 is... God, why am I so bad at math? 63 and a half, not 64 and a half. Which means... Oh, come on. No, let me click on this. The middle is actually here. Which means... It needs to be 2 empties, not 2 full ones. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess that's probably actually a better solution then, because I can just have these 1x1s everywhere. If I don't stop now, I'm never going to stop. Look at I did it again. I did it again. Anyway, regardless, I have to end this episode now, or it's never going to end. So, before we do, no, hey, can't keep getting away with it. I do have to set this off, and I do have to get this connected. I will absolutely not ever hear the end of it if I don't do this. So there we go. Now they're all connected. Now they're all connected to the network, and we have... Oh, come on, lag. We have crenellations. We have this can just go ahead and get exploded. There we go. Okay, now it's actually done. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Thanks for watching the videos. Beard Boosters, thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for supporting me. And making it possible to do stuff like, you know, decide, maybe I'm just not going to post videos on Wednesdays for a little while while we wait for the Ostriv update or whatever. Just stability is a very, very hard thing to find on YouTube, posting extremely specific videos. But you guys have made it happen, and I'm very thankful for it. It's just an incredible opportunity I'm never going to take for granted. So I appreciate you. And even if you're not on that list, I appreciate you for being here and sharing a little bit of your time with me today. Maybe a little bit more time than I necessarily should be taken from you, but I'm glad we could just spend it together nonetheless. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe, have fun, and we'll be back in this series on, what day? Saturday? Yeah, I think. Probably. Whatever day it ends up being. It's supposed to be Saturday. There's still plenty more to be done. Don't worry. We're nowhere close to finished. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.